Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is time for game number 5 between Root and Evil Geniuses, and this is it. So far, Evil Geniuses has complete momentum, complete control. They have their ace player playing for them. He has so far won 3 games in a row, and it's so far 3-1 in favor of EG. If Hydra wins this next game right here, right now, he is going to basically win it for Evil Geniuses, and Evil Geniuses will be the winner in the SGL. And his opponent, I am so excited, it is Kiwikaki. Root has thrown up their best player, in my opinion, their best player. Obviously my opinion can be wrong, but I think that Kiwikaki is really the best player on that team, and he really has some insane builds, and I'm really excited to see how he's going to face off against Hydra. Already starting off on this map, it is Metalopolis, and both players have spawned in the cross position. So Hydra has spawned all the way down on the southern end of the map of this big sky. It's actually a huge skyscraper. If you guys ever look around the map, it's just a big building. So Hydra has spawned on the bottom, Kiwikaki has spawned on the top, and of course, as always, that is going to favor the Zerg player a little bit, as they have so many options available to them to grab expansions. They have so much nodes around the map that they can grab, and it's really difficult for the Protoss player to apply pressure due to the long distance between the two bases. So we'll see how Hydra takes advantage of that. I'm almost sure that Hydra is going to go for very early expansion. Looks like he's going to throw the spawning pool down first this time around, and then he's probably going to throw the hatchery after a little bit of a wait. Meanwhile, Kiwikaki getting his gateway down, and as I said before, Kiwikaki has this amazing build versus Zerg. It is called the Mothership. If you guys haven't seen it, I think there's a video archive in my YouTube channel called Oh My God Mothership. I never actually changed the name. I just uploaded it, made that the name, and I just decided to leave it as that because I thought it was a cool name. And I think that's when Kiwikaki used a Mothership against TLO, the little one. So it was an amazing build. And I'm really excited to see what Kiwikaki is going to do with it this time around. Is he going to actually use it? I'd be a little disappointed if he doesn't. It looks like he is going to scout the fact that Hydra has gone for his hatchery. Hydra going for 14 pool into what seems to be 16 hatchery. And Kiwikaki throwing down his cybernetics core, everything looking super standard. Note, the Protoss player leaving this small one hexagonal, one square, I don't know how you call it, a rectangle, that little small space right there to put a zealot in. And that's going to wall off the Protoss base and basically make it immune to Zergling rushes. So looks like Hydra's going to get his drone inside here, just going to do a little bit of scouting work. He sees the cybernetics core and the gateway. Zealot already rushing forwards because he knows his role. He's just going to rush forward and plant himself right there, and that Zealot is not going to move for a very long time. We can actually see Kiwikaki going for double gas here, and this always kind of says to a Zerg player, once you get your drone inside and you see this, it pretty much says, okay, the Protoss player is going to go for some kind of heavy gas tech route, but it doesn't really reveal all that much. The most important thing for a Zerg player to do is try to keep your drone alive until and force the Protoss player to throw down their next building, but it's really difficult to do, obviously, because stalkers and sentries around this time can pick off the drone very easily. But Kiwikaki realizes, okay, I can't waste any more time. If I take too much time to try to kill off this drone, it's going to delay my build order that much longer. So he throws down his 2 gateways here, and Hydra sees it. So Hydra now realizes most likely it is some kind of a 3-gate into expansion build. Hydra here. Oh, the drone goes down. The 4th gateway goes up, and I don't think Hydra saw that 4th gateway. So Kiwikaki here is going for a 4-gate, it seems like. But he's actually throwing a pylon out at his front door, so I'm really confused right now. Either Kiwikaki is going to go for 4-gate into expansion, which I don't think is very efficient at all. Much better to just go 3-gate into expansion. You get your Nexus down much earlier. Or Kiwikaki is just feigning the expansion, and then he's going to go for a 4-gate all-out attack against Hydra. And Hydra really is not prepared for a 4-gate right now. And if that's the case, Kiwikaki needs to start moving out, and he needs to start throwing some pylons around the map right now, so he can basically cut off his reinforcements. Uh-oh, Hydra gets inside the base, and he sees the 4th gateway along with an overlord. Everything has been scouted, and Kiwikaki's plans, just like that, foiled. And now Kiwikaki is going to have to switch it up. I don't think that an all-out attack is going to work now. You can see Hydra rushing to get 10 Zerglings out and a Roach Warren and 2 Spine Crawlers. So Hydra with that phenomenal scout with the Overlord combined with the Zergling Notice that actually Hydra pulled the Overlord in here, forcing Kiwikaki to bring all of his forces, and then it left an opening for the two Zerglings to run in. So very nice play by Hydra. Hydra now well prepared for the 4-gate. And actually Kiwikaki, forced to switch up his strategy, will have to throw down a Nexus. Hydra right now completely unaware of that Nexus. So Hydra should be, well, he should be able to defend this quite easily. In my opinion, I don't see Hydra losing to this attack, because he's got his spine crawlers, he has 4 roaches on the way, he already has his lair. I think that Hydra should be able to hold this off quite easily, but we're about to see. Sometimes Protoss players can do some tricky things that, you know, you think that the Zerg player can hold it off, but then something really weird happens, especially if Kiwikaki can land a force field right here. If a force field gets plopped down on that ramp, say goodnight to Hydra, so I just really got to be careful about that. Loses a queen there. But I think that's going to be the only casualties today. We have a ton of Zerglings flooding in here. Oh, nice force fields from Kiwikaki, preventing the roaches from reinforcing the Zerglings. And now Kiwikaki will make short work of those speedlings. And he's actually going to get a free drone kill as well. Zap! Down goes the drone. So nice play from Kiwikaki. Nice defense from Hydra. I think these players are still at it. They are still bloodthirsty. These roaches are so pissed off that they got blocked off by the force fields. They're trying to avenge their Zergling brothers' deaths. I don't know if the Zerg unit, I don't know if you can consider them brothers. I guess they're like clones or mutated offspring or something like that. But anyways, Hydra here gonna try to kill off the rest of these forces, but without roach speed, he is very slow. He cannot catch up to these units, and roach speed is just a few seconds from finishing. But those force fields will prevent the roaches from ever catching up to those sentries and zealots. And now Kiwikaki should be able to fall back to the safety, the confines of his natural expansion. Meanwhile, also getting a robotics facility, so we do have an observer coming out there. No indication yet that we're going to see a mothership this game. And I do know Kiwikaki loves to use his mothership. He has basically found the key to playing a certain style of Protoss versus Zerg. And you know, Starcraft is such a game, it's a meta game, it's an evolution. Players will always find these interesting builds and unique innovations, and Kiwikaki has been a player that has innovated the mothership. He has brought it into standard play for Protoss versus Zerg, and he has made it work. So he's shown that Starcraft 2 is still an innovative game. Obviously, there's still expansions to come with new units, and he's shown that there's still so many strategies waiting to be discovered, and Kiwikaki, his mothership, is among the most feared strategies when you're playing Zerg versus Protoss. So we'll see if he decides to go for it. We can see right now that I'm just gushing over this mothership, so I gotta stop talking about that. But we can see right now Hydra is going for a Hydralisk Den, so he is gonna go for Roach Hydras. He already has +1 missile weapons finished, so really nice right there. Considering the early upgrades, we have Hallucinated Phoenix kind of walking around, or not walking, but flying around the map. They are going to get around and do some very good scouting right here and see the Roach Horn and the Hydralisk Den, I would imagine. And Hydra also doing a little bit of scouting of his own. He's going to see the robotics facility, and he's going to see the robotics support bay. And with that, we should see him plop down a Spire almost immediately. Yes, there's a Spire coming down right there. So he's going to get Corruptors, obviously, to deal with the Colossus. Corruptors are basically the one unit that Zerg can field on the map that can deal with Corruptors very, very easily and effectively. Kiwikaki, meanwhile, getting a 3rd expansion up, and we're pretty much seeing this game evolve into the very, very late Zerg versus Protoss. As Kiwikaki is just trying to bolster up his Colossus numbers. Right now, Colossus are the most valuable and most critical element in the Protoss army, and the reason for that is because when they're just by themselves, just one Colossus, kind of weak. Protoss can't make a move out against Zerg when they only have one, but once they get around 3 or 4, and their army supply nears the max, that's when Protoss players really want to start to push out. And one other unit composition that can work quite well is Void Ray Colossus, also known as the Protoss Death Ball. Obviously, Hydra right now, being the macro player that he is, he's not going to push out. He's not going to try to attack the Protoss right now, even though the Protoss has a 3rd expansion going up right here. Right now, Hydra's strategy is to build up as much economy as possible. We can see 73 Harvesters and 71 for Kiwikaki. So these players are pretty much reaching the near maximum that is allowed in StarCraft 2, and the reason why I say is allowed, it's kind of an allowed thing. You don't really want to get more than 75 drones because that's going to start to hinder your army supply. So right now both players are pretty much maxed. We also have 7 Corruptors on the way, and in about the next 2 minutes, we are going to see a collision of epic proportions. And, or we're just going to see lag and one player drop out. We're going to see a collision of epic proportion. We actually have a hallucinated Colossus here. And this is very, very cool play by Kiwikaki. This can actually force Hydra to attack the wrong units with his Corruptors. It can force Hydra to overreact and get really scared. This is going to be a lot more Colossus than Hydra is expecting. 2 more, which is going to double that Colossus number, and Hydra may not be well enough prepared for this. If we look at the army tabs, though, Hydra, oh wow, 168 to 144 supply. So Kiwikaki still really behind in terms of army count, and that's not even considering these units, of course, are fake. So here we go, Hydra coming in with his Corruptors, focusing the real Colossus first. So really nice play right there. Hydra just taking a shot in the dark. He doesn't even know there's hallucinations, but he killed off the real one. And thankfully Force Field saved the majority of the Protoss army. They're cutting off some of the Zerg. And Kiwikaki now gonna fall back and lick his wounds. I think Kiwikaki just there realized, wow, that's a lot of Corruptors. I could be in a bit of trouble here. And so he's now trying to get Blink for his Stalkers, which can help him deal with the Corruptors much easier. And unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna see a Mothership this game because there's just so many Corruptors on the map now that Mothership would not be a very wise choice at all. Oh god, the Colossus gets taken out. And now Kiwikaki is in just so much trouble. How can he win this game? He is really far behind now, 137 to 174. Hydra, though, is maybe overcommitting himself. Those Stalkers are so powerful with 1 armor and 1 weapons. It looks like, though, Hydra will have to fall back. These Corruptors still overhead. They cannot attack anything. Hydra, half of his army right here is completely useless, and Kiwikaki may actually kill the rest of these Roaches and Hydras. Great Blink Micro so far. Scratch that, the Corruptors are not useless. They're using their Corruption ability to increase the damage these Stalkers take by 20%, which is helping ever so little. Right now, Kiwikaki, oh my god, he blinks forward. He's gonna pick off the straggling Hydras and Roaches, and he's gonna push them back. Very nice play by Kiwikaki. We can see right now that the Zerg player Hydra is rushing to get more Hydralisks out. Hydralisks are the absolute backbone counter to Stalkers. They are so darn good against Stalkers, really effective. And obviously Hydra has a little bit too many Corruptors in the sky right now, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him make use of those Corruptors by going for Infestation Pit, getting the Hive, getting the Greater Spire down, and making some Broodlords out of those. So right now, if Hydra can get some Broodlords, he would be in a great position. He still is in a great position nonetheless. Scouts out with 2 Zerglings, the fact that the Nexus is going up over here on the side. So it is currently 4 base, potentially 4 base, so potential 4 base. So really, this is an extremely even game. I would say that Hydra would be behind, if not for the fact that Hydra has a much larger army right now, 173 to 150. So this obviously can swing either way right now. Hydra, I would like to see him get another base. There we go. Grabbing the gold expansion, really nice. Staying 1 base ahead of the Protoss player. It looks like some of his Corruptors now just going into scout as Hydra realizes, you know what? I might as well scout. I might as well try to pick off some Colossus that pop out of the robotics facility. But it looks like he's not going to be able to really get anything at all. And just kind of forces a little bit of dancing from Kiwikaki as he's forced to run a couple of his Stalkers into the main to fend off the Corruptors. Very tense moment in this game right now. Hydra looks like he's really rushing to get, oh wow, he is getting pathogenic glands for his Infestors, so we may actually see some Infestor play here, maybe Mind Control. Wow, that would be really brilliant. That would be awesome to watch. Meanwhile though, oh my god, transferring probes going over from one of the bases to the new base. Hydra almost picking off, almost slaying a bunch of probes, and here we go. Next big encounters, Corruptors coming in, gonna make really quick work of these Colossus. This is going to be absolutely devastating for Kiwikaki. Kiwikaki though, microing his Stalkers very nicely, but that's just so many Hydralisks, and without the Colossus support, Stalkers do not fend well against Hydralisks. Unfortunately, it's really a sad thing to watch, really, because Stalkers are just so good in general, but Hydras just pound on them. Here we go though, Kiwikaki making use of his blink. If he can blink well enough, he may be able to kill off these Hydras. Oh my god, Kiwikaki is pulling off a miracle right now, pulling his Stalkers back. Look at how weak these Stalkers are, ladies and gentlemen. He's pulling them back, he's keeping them alive, and he's killing off hordes and hordes of Hydralisks, and Hydralisks are supposed to be the bare bone counter to Stalkers. Kiwikaki now pushing forward. We can actually see Infestors coming out. They're about to pop out and actually scratch. Scratch what I was saying about Mind Control. I think the Infestors will be used for fungal growth to keep the Stalkers from blinking. Hydra here is getting pissed off. as Hydra is completely demolished, and Kiwikaki with his horde of stalkers. This is just a roaming pack, and oh my god, Hydra just leaves the game. I don't know if he GG'd. No, he did not. So, Hydra loses to Kiwikaki. Kiwikaki wins the game, and just like that, momentum has shifted. Kiwikaki now taking this series to 3-2. Obviously, Root is still down, but only by 1 game. And oh no, we had a fleet beacon. We were gonna see the mothership. Oh, well, I guess there's still a couple Zerg players in EG. Let's see, Strive Crow got played out already. I'm not sure if there's any more Zerg players, so we might not see the mothership anymore. But nonetheless, a great game by Kiwikaki. He really made great use of his Blink Stalkers. And one more time, I just want to look at the upgrades on these Stalkers. 2-2. And I think that's what really helped Kiwikaki win that against the Hydralisk. Because if not for the upgrades, those Hydras probably would have tore those Stalkers apart. So nice upgrades and, of course, nice micro. Actually, the Hydralisk had some pretty decent upgrades themselves. So, GG. Hydra loses. The momentum ball has finally stopped rolling, and it looks like things are going the other way for Root Gaming. HD signing out. Game number 6 coming up next.